guys, good afternoon. It's so good to see all of your faces, and I am missing y'all so much. And I just we're going to start a new chapter book, Judy Bloom's Super Fudge. So, my neighbor is in second grade, and so I asked her if she would let me borrow a chapter book until I can get some stuff from school. So, today I'm going to read chapter 1. Let's see what this is all about. Guess what, Peter? Life was going along okay when my mother and father dropped the news. Bam! Just like that. We have something wonderful to tell you, Peter, Mom said before dinner. She was slicing carrots into the salad bowl, so I grabbed one. What is it? I asked. I figured maybe my father had been made president of his company, or maybe my teacher phoned saying that even though I don't get the best grades in the 5th grade, I'm definitely the smartest kid in the class. We're going to have a baby, Mom said. What? We're going to do what? I asked, starting to choke. Dad had to whack me on the back. Tiny pieces of chewed up carrot flew out of my mouth and hit the counter. Mom wiped them up with a sponge. Have a baby, Dad said. You mean to tell me you're pregnant? I asked Mom. That's right, she told me, patting me on the back. Almost 4 months. 4 months? You've known for 4 months and you're just now telling me? We wanted to be sure, Dad said. It took you 4 months to be sure? Dad took the lid off the pot of the stove and stirred up the stew. Mom went back to slicing carrots, and you'd have thought we were discussing the weather. How could you? How could you? Isn't just one kid enough? They both stopped and looked at me. I kept right on shouting, Another fudge? Just what this family needs. I turned and stormed down the hall. Fudge, my 4-year-old brother, was in the living room. He was shoving crackers into his mouth and laughing like a loon at Sesame Street on TV. I looked at him and thought about having to go through it all over again. The kicking, the screaming, the messes, and so much more. I felt so angry that I kicked the wall. Fudge turned. Hi, he said. You're the biggest pain ever invented, I said. He tossed a handful of crackers at me. I raced to my room and slammed the door. So hard, my map of the world fell off the wall and landed on my bed. My dog Turtle barked. I opened the door just enough to let him squeeze through and then slammed it shut again. I pulled my Adidas bag out of my closet and emptied 2 dresser drawers into it. Another fudge, I told myself. They're going to actually have another fudge? There was a knock at my door and Dad called. Peter, go away, I told him. I'd like to talk to you, he said. About what? As if I didn't know. The baby. What baby? You know what baby. We don't need another baby. Need it or not, it's coming, Dad said, so you might as well get used to the idea of it. Never. We'll talk about this later, Dad said. In the meantime, scrub up. It's time for dinner. I'm not hungry. I zipped up my bag, grabbed a jacket, and opened my bedroom door. Now, no one was there. I marched down the hall and found my parents in the kitchen. I'm leaving, I announced. I'm not going to hang around waiting for another fudge to get born. Goodbye. I didn't move. I just stood there, waiting to see what they'd do next. Where do you think you're going? Mom asked. She took 4 plates out of the cabinet and handed them to my dad. To Jimmy Fargo's, I said, although until the moment I hadn't thought at all where I would be able to go. They have a 1-bedroom apartment, Mom said. You'd be so crowded. Then I'll go to Grandma's. She'll be happy to have me. Grandma's in Boston for a week, visiting Aunt Linda. Oh, so why don't you scrub up and have dinner, and then you can decide where to go, Mom said. I didn't want to admit that I was hungry, but I kind of was. And all the good smells coming from the pots and pans on the stove were making my mouth water. So I dropped my Adidas bag and went down to the hall of the bedroom. Fudge was at the sink. He stood on the stool, lathering up his hands with 3 inches of suds. Hello, you must be Bert, he said in his best Sesame Street voice. My name is Ernie. Glad to meet you. He offered me one of his sudsy little hands. Roll up your sleeves, I told him. You're making a total mess. Mess? Mess? I love to make messes, he sang. We know, I told him. I ran my hands under the faucet and dried it on my jeans. When we got to the table, Fudge arranged himself in the chair. Since he refuses to sit in his booster seat, he has to kneel so he can reach his plate at the table. He didn't scrub, he told my mom. He only rinsed. I can't believe he just told on me. Hello, I'm Bert. You must be Ernie. That's right, my father said, playing along with him. How are you, Bert? Well, I'll tell you, Fudge said. My liver's turning green and my tonsils are falling off. Sorry to hear that, Bert, my father said. Maybe tomorrow will be a better day. Yeah, maybe, Fudge said. I shook my head and piled some mashed potatoes on my plate, and then I drowned them in gravy. Remember when we took Fudge to Hamburger Heaven, I said, and he smeared mashed potatoes all over the wall? I did that? Fudge said. Suddenly, he was interested. Yes, I told him, and you dumped a plate of peas on your head. My mother started to laugh. I'd forgotten all about that day. Too bad you didn't remember before you decided to have another baby, I said. Baby? Fudge asked. My mother and father looked at each other. I got the message. They hadn't told Fudge the good news yet. Yes, Mom said, we're going to have a baby. Tomorrow? He asked. No, not tomorrow. When? In February, Dad says. January, February, March, April, May, June, July? Fudge recited. Okay, I said. We all know how smart you are. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Enough, I said. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, R, B, Y, Z? Will somebody turn him off? I said. Fudge was quiet for a few minutes, and then he said, What kind of new baby will it be? Let's hope it's not like you, I said. Why not? I was a good baby, wasn't I? You were an interesting baby, Fudgy, Mom said. So I was an interesting baby, he said to me. And Peter was a sweet baby, Mom said. He was very, very quiet. Lucky you had me first, I said to Mom, or you might not have had any more kids after him. Was I a quiet baby too, Fudge asked. I wouldn't say that, Dad said. I want to see the baby, Fudge said. You will. Now. You can't see it now. Why not? Because it's not here yet. Here it comes. Here's the big question. I wonder what Mom and Dad were about to say, but we all just sat there and looked at each other. Instead, he banged his spoon against his plate and howled, I want to see that baby. I want to see that baby now. You'll have to wait until February, Dad said, just like the rest of us. Now, Fudge screamed. Another 5 years of this, I thought. Maybe even more? And who's to say that they aren't going to keep on having more babies? Excuse me, I said, getting up from the table. I went into the kitchen and grabbed my Adidas bag. Then I stood at the doorway and called. Well, I better be on my way. I sort of waved goodbye. Where is he going? Fudge asked. I'm running away, I told him, but I'll come back to visit someday. No, don't go. Fudge jumped off his chair and ran to me. He grabbed my leg and started bawling. Don't go, take me with you. I tried to shake him off my leg, but I couldn't. He can be really strong. I looked at my mother and father. Then I looked down at Fudge and he gave me the same look as Turtle when he's begging for a biscuit. If only I knew for sure what the baby would be like, I said. Take a chance, Peter, Dad said. The baby won't necessarily be anything like Fudge, but it won't necessarily be like him either. Fudge tugged at my leg. I want an interesting baby, he said. Kind of like me. I sighed. If you think you're going to sleep in my room, you're crazy, I told Mom and Dad. The baby will sleep in here, Mom said, in the dining area. Then where will we eat? Oh, we'll think of something, Mom said. I put my Adidas bag down and tried shaking Fudge off one more time. Okay, I said. I'll stay for now, but when the baby comes, if I don't like it, I am leaving. Me too, Fudge said. Sam got a new baby and it smells, and he held his nose. P.U. Who wants dessert? Dad asked. It's vanilla pudding. I do, Fudge yelped. He let go of me and climbed into his chair. Peter, Dad said. Sure, I'll have some, and sat down at the table too. Mom reached over and flipped her hair. This time, she just let me sit there and not say anything about my attitude. Chapter 2 is Choo-chee, choo-chee, choo. Sounds something about a train. So I want you to think about Peter's reaction and how his attitude changed from the very first time he heard until the end of the chapter and why he decided not to run away.